Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Madden Gaming and I'm back with another reaction video. In today's video we got some more Madden news. Yes sir. In this one we got Madden 24 new gameplay animations revealed. I ain't gonna lie to you, I hope these animations are fire. Cannot wait to react to this, but before we hop into this reaction, I need you guys to like this video right now. Subscribe to your boy if you want more reactions just like this one. Without further ado, jump right into it.
Madden 24 is coming out really soon, and today in this video we're going to look at some of the new gameplay animations that are going to be going into the new game. Last year around this time we got an early look at some of the gameplay animations via the motion capture company that does the animations for EA Sports, and this year they've been posting a ton of content on their TikTok once again, so we're going to check out what's coming to the game in terms of gameplay. It's obviously not going to be all of the new animations, but we get a look at some of the bigger ones. And as of today we are 2 weeks away from the Madden 24 beta, which means we're actually less than 2 weeks away from a lot of the big information coming out about the game via EA Sports. So make sure you subscribe with the bell icon on, because any day now we're going to be getting a ton of info straight from EA about Madden 24 and you're not going to want to miss it. So we're going to take a look at some of these animations. The first one we have here looks like a new hurdle animation with the defender trying to take out the legs of the runner and the runner hurdling the defender. We don't really have a ton of good hurdle animations in the game. There's a couple. You don't really see them play out too often, but no problem with adding more of those. It's something you do see quite often in the NFL these days. Now this one right here looks like a receiver maybe going for a catch that's a little bit out of reach. He's jumping back for it maybe, and he's being undercut and hit in midair. We know last year on the newer consoles they added a ton of new midair collisions and tackles to the game, which we hadn't seen in quite a while, so it looks like they're still going to be adding more of those. I'm always a fan of adding more animations because the animations really aren't the problem with the game. The problem is how they play out, the physics aspect of it, which they're still kind of working on, but you need more animations to pull from, because if you have less animations, that's when you get the interactions where it seems forced or you're getting sucked into something that just doesn't make sense. The more possible animations and interactions you can pull from, the more realistic outcomes you can get. The problem with Madden over some of these years is the lack of animations in actuality, because that's why you would see just weird things that didn't make sense. So right here we're seeing, it looks like just another little gang hit stick type tackle. We know they put a lot of those into the game last year, so of course they're going to be adding more of those to the game this year as well. Here we're going to have a bunch of just running animations, breaking tackles, spinning out of tackles, juking out defenders. I know sometimes people see this and they get aggravated and they say, oh, I just don't like this in the game. This is going to make me mad when defenders are missing tackles or when the jukes or the spins play out and I feel like I just can't make the tackle. But in reality, these things happen in the NFL. Players tackle poorly and lazily in the NFL every single Sunday. I had to watch my team miss a million tackles last year or just make poor attempts at tackling or get faked out, and obviously it can be annoying when it does happen to you in a video game, but you need those things to play out in a video game because they play out in real football. Yeah, some of these right here you would say these are poor tackle attempts or these are defenders just not tackling properly, but the thing is, in the NFL, the best players in the world do this all the time. People are lazy. People don't actually wrap up. People complain about their team missing tackles every single Sunday because, yes, you have the good players that are going to tackle properly more often than not, but you have a bunch of players that just get faked out, that go high when they should go low, that don't wrap up, that just try to dive at players, and that's why you see so many big plays and so many broken tackles and people getting faked out. So I don't really have a problem with it in the game. The only issue in terms of Madden is sometimes with these animations, in order for them to kind of play out this way, there's often times where it feels like you're not in control of what's happening. You feel like that maybe your defender kind of gets pulled into a canned animation right before you click onto them, and thus if you're just like that half second late or that millisecond late, you kind of don't have the ability to make the tackle yourself. That's really the only issue with it. But I mean, when it comes to a video game, I think, you know, there's a fine line with that stuff, and sometimes it's really hard to, you know, have the perfect balance there. Here's some more animations with catches and hits after the catch and tackles after a catch. You're going to see some where they break the tackle after the catch and keep going. And again, these are things that when it happens to you when you're playing the game, like right here, it's going to aggravate you where they're breaking the tackle and running for a big play. But again, in the NFL, we see these things happen every Sunday. We see from all the games that are played, there's going to be a couple big plays where the guy catches the ball, somebody makes a poor tackle attempt, he just bounces off the receiver. I mean, we see guys like Jamar Chase and DK Metcalf, especially the bigger guys, AJ Brown, they do this all the time. Debo Samuel in the open field, people try to tackle him and they just bounce off of him, and then they keep going and they turn a 5 to 10 yard play into a huge touchdown. So again, I don't really have a problem with them motion capturing animations like that because that is football. Again, the problem with Madden is kind of how they play out, or the biggest thing with Madden sometimes is you see certain ones play out way too often. You'll see something play out multiple times a game that typically in an average game you might not see that catch or that broken tackle type animation like in a real life setting. You wouldn't see it multiple times a game. So that's something I think EA really can work on, is making sure they have more animations and you're not seeing the same ones play out too often, because we've always seen there's like those few animations every year that they seem to trigger more often than others, and that's when it gets annoying and that's when it gets a little unrealistic. Here just looks like a new hit stick animation from the side, just kind of blowing a guy up. They've been adding a lot of hit stick animations over the last few years. That's something they try to kind of update, it seems like, a little more often, because people like the hit stick, people like big hits. So last couple of years they've definitely been adding more of those. Here are some more kind of hit stick midair tackles. You're gonna see, I guess, people maybe diving for catches or diving with the ball for the pylon. You'll see, or just runners kind of getting caught in midair. Again, some of these, if they play out a little too often, they can look a little unrealistic. It can look a bit much at times, but these are things you see happen in the NFL. It's just about how EA can balance it to where you're not seeing, you know, every time somebody dives they're getting hit the same way. Like every time somebody dives they shouldn't get hit. Every time somebody goes for a catch, if there's somebody near them, it shouldn't always be a mid-air collision. But I like that they're putting these types of things in the game. It's just balance them out. Now here there's a new gritty celebration. We've seen a lot of people do this last year where they kind of faked the hamstring injury. This is another area I think that, you know, I don't mind the celebrations in the game. It's a big part of the NFL. I know some people will say, you know, there's way more important things, but if you're motion capturing, this is kind of part of it. You know, you're going to get a few new celebrations, especially you don't want to see the same ones play out all the time. There's a million different ways to do the gritty, so why not add more? And this was kind of a popular one last year. The one thing I will say is I think when it comes to some of the certain dances, maybe they could get some better guys to do it. I don't really have too much of a problem with this gritty. That one's okay, but this one right here, kind of like the Lil Uzi dance. I know he didn't come up with it, but he's kind of the most known for the dance. Like this one, it's okay, but it could be better, you know? And I think like this middle one right here that they showed a quick clip of, that kind of looks more like the Jason Kelsey one. Maybe that's what they were going for like the bigger guys, you know, the guys that don't move as fluid when they celebrate. Maybe they're capturing multiple ones there, but just in general, I think there's guys that could probably motion capture this a little better, that have a little bit more rhythm. I like that they're putting them in the game though, because you see NFL players do this. I love when things are represented, even if it is something like a celebration. Here they're adding the sturdy celebration, which is another cool one. Again, I think they maybe could have got someone a little better to motion capture it. I mean, it's not the best sturdy I've ever seen. I'll just say that. I've seen people, you know, really kill this dance, and this is kind of a mediocre version of it. But again, I mean, I'd rather it be in the game than not. I think anything that's popular that NFL players are doing, that should be represented in the game. The thing I hate is when they leave like some of the super old celebrations in the game, like when Odell still does the whip dance. Like nobody does that anymore. I like for them to refresh things, take the old stuff out, take out some of the celebrations that are corny and whack. Like this one right here, not the biggest fan of it. It's whatever. I mean, this one, it's okay, I guess, but it's not one of my favorite ones. I like when they actually take the real dances people are doing, the gritty, getting sturdy, you know, the Lil Uzi dance. I don't know what it's called, you know, forgive me, I'm not from Philly, don't know what it's called, but I like when they put that stuff in the game. And here it looks like they added a new team celebration as well. This one's a little much. I don't really think you see NFL teams get this crazy with the celebrations, but again, I'm never gonna be against new things in the game, things that make the game feel fresh, even when it's small things like this. A bunch of small things add up. If you add 20 to 30 small things, that adds up and it makes the game feel like something new. It doesn't feel like you're playing the same game. You're seeing different things play out, different animations, different celebrations, different things with presentation. So I'm never going to be against them doing that. Now, if you want to know more about Madden 24, the little bit that we do know about it so far, you can check out this video.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I really do like them animations, especially the celebration animations. I think some of them could be TikToks that might be why he didn't really know some of them. But like he said, the animations are necessary. It's just that sometimes they're a little bit too common, and I think that's what fans don't really like to see. You can't just have a game without any animations. Like I've seen people in the comments say Madden shouldn't have animations, to be all physics. No, you would not enjoy that experience. Trust me, you would not enjoy that experience. I feel like it should be 50-50, but overall I think these animations look really cool, especially the in-air animations. I can't wait to see more. And we are, what do you say, 2 weeks away from the Madden beta, or a week away, something like that. That is crazy. Madden 24 is almost here, guys. Can't wait. So excited. Gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this reaction. Love every single one of you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.